What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another solo Leveling and Rise video. All right, folks, once in a while, we get ourselves a video and a content creator who comes out of nowhere and does something absolutely special. So I want to say a big shout out to Yurik Mazzino, also AISU64. I'm going to show both their channels so you guys can check. So AISU showed me a video she made based on Urik's strategy. I'm going to focus on Urik's video specifically, but I'm also going to give a shout out to AISU for bringing this up to me. There is a specific method here to make Deimos POS 20 or below much easier if you have two specific weapons and a couple different skills. And this is now going to be the meta. Now, there's a reason why I went for the Stormbringer. Okay, we're going to talk about the Stormbringer as number one. As a free-to-play player, I focused all my efforts here rather than the water weapon because I thought to myself, first off, I love the wind skills. Number two, I have a DKD A10 as free-to-play. And number three, this is something that Zaf and I, when we were doing the testing, realized, is that Stormbringer amplifies all wind skills insanely. Like we're talking about at A1, you get 1,600 damage with the Storm Strike ability, and then at A5, which I'm desperately trying to get, and this is what this video is going to be based on, those skills go up by 3,200. Now this is going to be a pretty crazy video, and I know a lot of you guys as content creators have already covered it, but I thought, you know what, being one of the biggest content creators on this platform, I would like to give Urik his flowers. He's on my Discord, we've discussed it, AISU and I have discussed it, and I think this video is going to be fantastic in helping a lot of people get their frames at POS 10 and also, get their icons for POS 10 and also get their frames for POS 20. Okay, so keep in mind you will need to get at least an A5 Stormbringer with an A5 staff. That's going to be the main thing. If you don't have those things, it will be a lot more difficult to do, but it's still not impossible. So remember that. Okay, now I'm going to do this probably eventually. I can't do it on my free-to-play right now. I've already done POS 20 on my pay-to-win, so I'm not worried about that part of it. But I do want to show you guys the video and kind of react to it and explain to you how this works. Now, it's revolving around these two weapons and two skills specifically, okay? And I'm going to talk about those skills real quick. And this is what Zaf and I, when we were doing our own testing, figured out, is that Vacuum Wave is fantastic, of course, because it gives you guys the damage increase, but specifically, this one here, high speed rotation, which is a skill I've always loved, but because you can cast it 3 times in a row, it increases your wind damage by that 3,200%. This is going to be your main bread and butter for damage when it comes down to the wind skills. Okay, so it is important to remember that these two skills are going to be pretty much mandatory for what you need. I'll move my screen out of the way there. Okay, so I'm going to show you this video and how it works and why this works really well. And also, again, I'm going to put both AISU's and Urik's video or their channel on the bottom. Go show them some love. So this is Urik's video, this is AISU's video. AISU did it with a little bit more power. She did hers with, I believe, 1.96. Urik did his with way less. We're talking about 1.553. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys the setup and how he did it and why this works really well. So first off, a couple things to note. You guys can see Beru here. You can see the shadows are Serbi, Beru, and what's her name? Bestie, right? So defense penetration, obviously, but this is for punishment and of course the crit damage bonus and the attack bonus, and this here is obviously for Serbi's combustion, which is an extra 5% damage permanently. Min, of course, gives you guys, so this is where you need to alternate these, right? So Min will give you guys the 15% more damage with his punishment, 15% more damage with charmed, and then of course the attack up with Maelin is a bonus. So you want to build this with as much attack as possible because of course Stormbringer scales off of the attack that you need in order to make this work. So you guys can see A5 Stormbringer, A10 staff, those make a big difference. Let's not get that twisted. You will need these for POS 10. But the same strategy can be used without POS 10. And you can see his Libora is only A2 and his Min is only A2. So these guys as support can also be done. And you guys can see the power difference is about 500k-ish, a little lower than that, but nonetheless, still very impressive. So the sets, you want to go with Curse Obsidian. Very important for Obsidian specifically because the weapon, the staff especially, does a lot of damage here and will scale off that. You guys can see the Wish set here, the new set. You guys can see Guardian and Sylph, and then of course the Blessing set. These are all to buff him whenever they get cast. The two skills as mentioned is High Speed Rotation, Vacuum Wave, and of course Thunderstorm is another big one as well, so make sure you have those in hand. And then Blessing Stones, you've got yourself Reawakening, Mythic Bloodlust, you got the Advanced Dagger, which I think you can also switch out, and of course double-edged sword, which can add more attack to you. So you guys can see, again, not everything is impossible to get here. This is very free to play. And then you got these right here, right? So this one, I believe, it increases attack based off of your HP. 6% based off HP or MP. I'm trying to remember what it was. This is shield on ultimate. This one is MP, or this is increasing your ultimate gauge, I believe, with basic attacks. And then everyone else, just put whatever you need to make it happen. All right. So watch how the fight goes. I'm going to show you guys real quick so you guys can see the difference. Now, this is all related to two different things, this whole fight. Number one, it's to get your Stormbringer off as much as possible while casting your high-speed rotation and vacuum wave. So real quick, you see Stormbreaker. Now look, he cast Min. Min instantly does the punishment, which is 15% extra damage. Now you guys can see the Tempest debuff is on there now as well. That's going to add an extra 10% damage right there. And then when you get the 2 stacks right there, right, you guys saw that? There's an extra 10% right there. So look, he's doing high-speed rotation. So you have punishment, and now you have charmed. Okay, which is now 15 and 15 plus another 20 there, I believe. So that's now 50% more damage, right? And you guys can see all of the skills he's doing, the break bar doesn't even matter. All the skills that are happening here are going to be 3,200% more damage within this Stormbreak buff, right? You guys can see vacuum wave. Now, I personally would have done vacuum wave first to get that extra more damage increase on there, because look, that extra damage increase right there would have been an extra 10%, so it would have been 60% rather than 50. But and then do high speed rotation there. But look at that, right? 93% already. With, you have to remember this, he's strong against wind. All right, now because you guys can see here, the storm strike is gone, but he's got all of the debuffs on there. And watch how much this staff does in terms of damage. Non-crit, that took a lot of HP off, right? And look, he does just basic attacks, core attacks right here, and he's already going to be pushed over to the next phase very quickly. Okay, so again, Stormbringer, and there it is, right? Now next phase is going to start. Now you could have probably saved Stormbringer a little bit there for this phase if you wanted to, and made this phase go a little faster, but nonetheless, you guys can see his ultimate's not even fully built yet, and normally at this point, any phase you do, you'll have that built off, right? As you guys can see here, targets the eyeballs very quickly, properly as well. Stormbringer hits a lot of them, and this is where you do high-speed rotation, vacuum wave, and try to kill these as fast as you can, right? So again, the Storm Strike ability, when you have that buff on there, it's gone right now, is what makes those skills hit really, really hard, even if you are not using the right element. So very, very important to remember that. Here you could use Stormbringer again, or you can use the ultimate to break, it's your call, but he continues to do high-speed rotation, which is very smart, saves his ultimate for later. Now, again, the key thing to note here is that none of these are breaking the bar. He's not breaking the bar at all, right? So again, you guys can see high speed rotation. Next phase will start very soon. All right, watch. There it is. Big staff attack. On to the next phase now. All right, he's gonna do the skill. Now this part's good because this is the slower of the two skills. There it is. Moving on. And so you continuously do this the entire time. You just constantly focus on doing this the exact same way. Now, the beauty of Stormbringer also is it increases your damage and your attack on all of your weapons, not just wind weapons. So the staff is actually getting a massive boost from the A0 to A1 portion of it, right? Especially when you have 300 strength. Now watch. Look at that. Look how much damage is just happening right there. And there's the staff again. 7% instantly gone. So you do need the staff. I just want to make this clear. It's not just about Stormbringer, but you do require the staff. But Stormbringer with those skills are doing a massive amount of damage, even under the worst circumstances, which makes him strong against wind, right? Like there you go. Again, staff, boom. Right? You guys can see the equal amounts of damage coming through from both of them. The staff and the wind skills. All right, next phase. Okay, here we go. Portal phase. We'll get through the portal phase quick. Let's fast forward this part. Watch his HP again. Now look, again, the break bar has not moved. So this is actually incredible because you avoid the whole break phase. You don't even need to worry about it, right? Which is pretty uncanny, to be honest with you, to see in any boss fight where the break bar doesn't even matter. So for those who are wondering if Stormbreaker is any good, I've talked about it numerous times. That I think it's one of the best weapons in the game. With this, pairing it with the staff and with these wind skills, look at that, just eating it up. With 1:53 left, guys, 38%. They're almost unstoppable together. And this is amazing proof here to show an example of how much you can overcome with these two weapons when in the right situation and circumstances, even with the wrong element in hand, right? So there you guys go. Now I'm just going to fast forward this video a little bit because you guys will see pretty much it's the same rotation. He finished it all off with exactly 8 seconds and almost 9 seconds left, which is very, very impressive. And there you guys go. POS 20 completed by somebody who is way under geared, way under leveled, and got himself everything he needs. So for those who are looking to complete this, this might be the method. So again, go give Eric and AISU and everybody else involved in this a big shout out. Go subscribe to the channels, go like the content. Hope this helped you guys out. If you guys do have an idea, or if you have these things set up right now in terms of having the Stormbringer and those skills in legendary format like I do, I'm just working on getting my staff up. You guys can see here, this has been my draw my entire time. Let me go to my draw section real quick. This is what I've been drawing for the entire time, right? Way before this even happened, is those exact 2 weapons. So I'm working on getting this to A5 and getting my staff to A5, and then from there you should be able to do it. Now POS should last until hard mode Yogamon comes out, so you will have time to get this done. For those who want to use the strategy, again, go show some love, put some big W's in for Yurik and those who involved. And again, massive shout out to him for figuring this out. So go like his video, guys. It'll be in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.